Hey, have you seen people who seems like they are effortlessly pursuing and achieving their goals, and then there is this other set of people who are struggling and they can't even find the motivation that is necessary for them to move in the direction of their goals? Yes. So in today's video, we are going to dive deep into that one thing which is fundamental, the key ingredient for you to achieve your goals, and what are the two important things within that one big thing that you need if you want to achieve your goals. Hi, I'm Astha Tatia, daughter of two rock-solid pillars, mother to a lovely daughter, wife of a humor king, an engineer, MBA corporate executive turned anchor person, now an author and a happiness coach, helping corporate leaders build their happiness muscle by expressing their higher potential and therefore creating amazing relationships at their workplace. If what you hear today makes sense, resonates, hit the like button. Also subscribe to the channel if you've not done it already. So the key to achieving goals is self-discipline. Now you may have heard about this a lot of times. And a lot of times we also place control in the external things, what's there outside, the situations, the people. We place all the control there, and that's where we say, how am I going to achieve it? This is not working. This is not in my favor. And that's where we need to understand that that's never going to be in my control. But self-discipline is a must, because I'm not going to be motivated 24/7. Nobody can be. People who are achieving their goals are not motivated all the time. So then what drives them? Self-discipline. Yeah. And within self-discipline, which self-discipline is basically my ability to manage my thoughts, my feelings, and hence my actions, behaviors, which then lead to my results. Yeah. Now, within self-discipline, there are two important aspects that I want to talk about, right? When it comes to self-discipline, the first thing is keeping your word. What does that mean? You've got to be impeccable with your word, right? What happens is that we commit something to ourselves. We say, nobody's listening, but I say, oh, today I'm going to sleep by 10 p.m. or I'm going to sleep by 10 p.m. so that I can wake up by 4:30 or 5 a.m. And then I don't do it. And I'm just watching a reel, or I'm just doing some work, and it just goes to 10:30 or 11. And then what's the big deal? Doesn't matter. But it does matter, because you are listening. It is getting registered here, and then you end up damaging yourself. You end up pulling yourself down bit by bit each day as you do not keep your word, right? And we so undermine the importance of keeping our word. So the first thing, very important as part of self-discipline, is learn to keep your word. There's no way that you commit, you say something and you don't do it. And how can you get how can you make it happen? Have structures. So if you say, this is what I'm going to do, then ensure you have structures around it, which will support you, which will compel you into doing that. And you will have an accountability system in whatever way. So if we leave it to our brain, a lot of times it takes over, right? So can I have something outside of me which is going to support me, which is going to compel me to taking that action? So for example, if I'm going to wake up every day at 5 a.m. so that I can go for my yoga class. Waking up at 5 is a challenge for me. Alarm doesn't work for me, right? So can I get my maybe partner, or can I get my mother to be my accountability partner? She is going to wake me up, and I know she's a reliable partner. She's a reliable structure. It's going to happen. So the first thing, keep your word, make it happen, figure out, right? Now the second one is kind of a follow-up to this, because quite often we are not able to keep our word because it is too overwhelming. Oh, it's like, oh, I've got to do this, this seems too big, too difficult to happen. Can I break it down to just the next step? Can I break it down and then focus on the one next thing? So within my goal, what is going to be my next step? Just that one little thing. All the activities that are priority, that are needed to be done now, The others can be taken care of later or can be delegated. But what needs to be done by me now, from those, can I just look at not, oh, this entails this. Rather, what one small thing within this can I do immediately? So, for example, and basically from a place of self-discipline, so that I take action. So, for example, if I have to go for or do my yoga in the morning, so I've woken up at 5 a.m., 5:30, and now I just don't feel like going for yoga. Yeah, I just don't want to do that. I'm literally dragging myself out, and I think, oh, what's the big deal? Let me skip it today. So for me, the immediate next one thing could be get up and dress up. So I get into my yoga attire. Once I get into my yoga attire, it just somewhere prepares me, it just takes me one step ahead in that journey. And now, of course, I'm all prepped up. It just builds the whole momentum. And then I go ahead and maybe end up doing it. So what's that next one thing that I'm going to be doing is what I would want you to focus on, right? So quickly to summarize, self-discipline is the key. And within that, two things. Number one, keeping your word. No way you cannot do as you say. You are listening. It's not about others. You are committing to yourself, right? So be aware of that. And number two, how do you keep your word? How do you ensure that you keep your word more often? Is by just focusing on that one thing that you can do immediately, which will then propel you to do the next one. And then you see, okay, now what's the next one? So that's how you do it, which will get you into, moving further, building the momentum and taking actions in the direction of your goal. Yeah. Does it make sense? Did this resonate? Do you think this is going to help you? If yes, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and also let me know in the comments, what did you do? Which is your goal where you've been struggling? And now to bring in self-discipline, this is how you're going to break it up. This is how you practice, the next one thing, and then the next one thing, and then the next one thing. Not something that you may be hearing for the first time, but trust me, I can't tell you the number of people who do away with this, who just take this for granted. You don't want to be the one, right? Go ahead, take action, and let me know. See you very, very soon in the next one.